Jay-Z doesn't just live in luxury, he architects it. His wealth, his taste, and his ambitions stretch far beyond typical celebrity extravagance. Jay-Z operates in a different league, a place where price tags become secondary to vision, and every purchase feels like a quiet declaration of dominance. When he buys something, it isn't just expensive. It's iconic. It's deliberate. It's built to last longer than trends and louder than bragging rights. If Kim Kardashian's world is a spectacle and Kanye's is an art project, Jay-Z's world is an empire, measured not only in wealth, but in strategy, longevity, and legacy. The story of Jay-Z's extravagant possessions starts with his real estate portfolio, which reads more like a list of dream destinations than just homes. One of the most famous is the Bel-Air mansion he and Beyoncé purchased for around $88 million. The property is a modern fortress, nearly a small country, with bulletproof windows, terraces that seem to float in midair, a spa, recording spaces, 4 outdoor pools, a full basketball court, and motorized glass walls that open the entire house to the California sky. It's a masterpiece of architecture and ambition. After renovations, additions, and upgrades, the home's value is believed to have climbed past $100 million, making it one of the most expensive celebrity residences ever purchased. Before Bel-Air, they bought a mansion in New Orleans that blends historical charm with their signature taste, and they famously secured a Hamptons estate for $26 million, a sprawling waterfront dream home where privacy wraps the entire property like a velvet rope. The Hamptons house is so quiet, so secluded, it feels like a personal island, perfect for two of the most watched people in the world. But real estate isn't the only world where Jay-Z plays on a higher level. His investments in luxury transportation alone read like the wish lists of billionaires. One of his most jaw-dropping purchases was a $40 million private jet gifted to him by Beyoncé for Father's Day one year. This isn't just a jet, it's a flying penthouse. It's outfitted with full bedrooms, living areas, luxury leather interiors, and enough space to make air travel feel like floating through the sky in a 5-star suite. For most people, flying is something you tolerate. For Jay-Z, it's something you customize. He also famously owns the Galactica Star, a yacht he frequently charters and uses for family vacations. Chartering this yacht alone costs hundreds of thousands per week, with a crew, a helipad, multi-level decks, and suites more luxurious than most hotels. Whether Jay-Z owns it or charters it long-term, the cost is staggering, easily reaching into the millions each year. It's the kind of floating paradise where the ocean becomes a private backyard. And when it comes to cars, Jay-Z's collection is a museum of rarity. The centerpiece is the Maybach Excelero, a car so immersive, so dramatic, and so extravagantly priced that it sounds like fiction. Jay-Z paid around $8 million for it. The Excelero looks like something Batman would drive. Long, black, sleek, aggressive, a one-of-a-kind road presence that turns highways into runways. The fact that he dropped $8 million on a single car says everything about the level he operates on. But the Excelero isn't the only monster in his garage. He also owns a Pagani Zonda F, a hand-built Italian hypercar worth around $2.5 million, a car crafted like jewelry, but engineered like a missile. Alongside it, he has Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, and custom Maybachs that push the total value of his car collection high into the tens of millions. For Jay-Z, cars aren't just vehicles. They're trophies. They're expressions of taste, confidence, and success earned the hard way. Then there's his watch collection, which is practically infamous. Jay-Z is a man who once wore a Hublot Big Bang worth $5 million, a watch so encrusted with diamonds that it looked like time itself had been dipped in ice. It contains over 1,200 precious stones and took more than a year to set. He also owns a Richard Mille RM-056 worth over $2 million, a transparent timepiece carved from crystal so delicate that producing just one is considered a feat of craftsmanship. Jay-Z doesn't just wear watches, he carries blueprints for human artistry on his wrist. And yet, for as much as he spends on homes, jets, yachts, jewelry, and cars, nothing displays his wealth quite like the things he buys for Beyoncé. One year, he gifted her a $20 million private island in the Florida Keys, a lush paradise accessible only by boat or helicopter. On another occasion, he purchased a $2 million Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport for her birthday. Try to imagine surprising someone with a car that costs more than most mansions. In Jay-Z's universe, grand gestures are the norm, not the exception. There was also the famously extravagant blue diamond ring he gifted her for their wedding anniversary, estimated at $8 million, and the custom jewelry pieces he's commissioned over the years that have become part of her legendary image gifts in the Jay-Z and Beyoncé household don't come wrapped in predictable boxes. They come in the form of yachts, mansions, diamonds, and experiences crafted with the precision of a love letter. Even his personal lifestyle choices reveal a taste for the spectacular. In his music, he has referenced buying bottles of wine for $20,000 each, owning cigars that cost thousands per box, and celebrating milestones with champagne collections worth more than some families make in a year. He once reportedly spent hundreds of thousands on a single night of celebration, not out of carelessness, but because celebration itself, for Jay-Z, is a ritual of gratitude. But what truly separates Jay-Z from others who spend big is the way he blends luxury with legacy. Many of his stupidly expensive items double as investments. His art collection, for example, includes pieces worth millions, like the $4.5 million Basquiat painting he purchased, a piece that has likely risen significantly in value since his taste in art is forward-thinking, modern, urban, and highly strategic. He collects not because it's trendy, but because he sees art as cultural currency. He also purchased stakes in luxury companies, properties that produce generational wealth. Even his business moves reflect billionaire-caliber spending. When he launched his luxury champagne line, he invested tens of millions into branding, production, and international marketing, costs that would paralyze most entrepreneurs, but which he regarded as necessary groundwork, and the gamble paid off. He later sold half the brand to one of the biggest luxury conglomerates in the world in a deal valued at hundreds of millions. Another striking example is his ownership stake in a streaming service, a move that cost him more than $50 million. Many criticized it at the time, but years later he sold a controlling share of the company for around $300 million, proving once again that Jay-Z doesn't play the short game. When he spends big, he's thinking in decades, not days. And then there's the Brooklyn Nets. Buying into an NBA team is something only the ultra-wealthy can do, and Jay-Z made the leap with millions of dollars, helping move the franchise to Brooklyn and knowing full well the cultural significance that came with the investment. It wasn't just ownership. It was identity. It was influence. It was building the future of an entire community. Jay-Z's world is a blend of strategy and extravagance, discipline and indulgence. What looks like stupidly expensive from the outside is often a chess move from the inside. Even when the purchases are purely indulgent, they reflect a man who grew up with nothing and built an empire with his own hands, not only for himself, but for the generations after him. Jay-Z's life proves that luxury isn't just about money, it's about mastery. It's about creating a life where every purchase, no matter how outrageous, becomes part of a larger story. Homes become monuments. Cars become artifacts. Diamonds become heirlooms. Yachts become chapters in family history. Watches become archives of time lived well. And private islands become the literal landscape of a legacy in progress. Jay-Z doesn't just own expensive things. He creates a world in which luxury is woven into identity, where every object is a testament to vision, resilience, ambition, and the belief that if you can imagine it, you can build it.